Psalm 23, a Psalm of David. This ancient text has been a source of comfort and inspiration for countless generations. It is a timeless piece of poetry that speaks to the heart and soul of anyone who reads it. It's a shepherd's psalm. These words, etched in time, resonate deeply with anyone who understands the intimate bond between a shepherd and his sheep. The relationship is one of trust, care, and unwavering commitment. The shepherd knows each sheep by name, and the sheep recognize the shepherd's voice. It's a psalm born out of experience. David, a shepherd himself, knew the rhythms of pastoral life. He spent countless hours in the fields watching over his flock, protecting them from predators and leading them to green pastures and still waters. His experiences as a shepherd provided him with a unique perspective on the nature of God's care for his people. He understood the profound dependence of sheep on their shepherd. Sheep are not known for their intelligence. They are prone to wander and get lost. Without the guidance and protection of the shepherd, they are vulnerable to danger. David saw himself and all of humanity in the sheep he tended. He recognized our need for a divine shepherd to guide and protect us. In this psalm, he masterfully portrays God as the ultimate shepherd. The imagery he uses is rich and evocative. He speaks of green pastures, still waters, and paths of righteousness. These are not just physical places, but symbols of the spiritual nourishment and guidance that God provides. He guides us, protects us, and provides for us. Just as a shepherd leads his sheep to places where they can find food and water, God leads us to places where we can find spiritual sustenance. He protects us from the dangers that threaten to harm us, and he provides for our every need. This psalm is an invitation. It beckons us to step into the tranquil world of a shepherd and his flock. It invites us to experience the peace and security that comes from being under the care of a loving shepherd. It calls us to trust in God's provision and guidance, just as sheep trust in their shepherd. We can almost feel the soft grass beneath our feet. The imagery is so vivid that we can imagine ourselves walking through the fields, feeling the cool breeze on our faces, and hearing the gentle rustle of the grass. It is a scene of perfect peace and tranquility. We can almost hear the gentle bleating of the sheep. The sound is soothing and calming, a reminder of the simple, unhurried pace of life in the countryside. It is a stark contrast to the hustle and bustle of our modern lives, and it invites us to slow down and find rest in God's presence. As we journey through this psalm, we discover profound truths. We learn about the nature of God's care for us, his provision, and his protection. We see how he leads us through the valleys of life and how he is with us even in the darkest times. We are reminded of his faithfulness and his love. These truths are as relevant today as they were in David's time. The world may have changed, but the human condition has not. We still face the same fears, the same uncertainties, and the same need for guidance and protection. And just as God was with David, he is with us today. The imagery is vivid. The message is timeless. The psalm speaks to the deepest needs of the human heart. It offers a vision of a life lived under the care of a loving shepherd, a life of peace, security, and abundance. It is a message of hope and assurance that transcends time and place. Psalm 23 offers comfort, assurance, and hope. It reminds us that we are not alone in this world. We have a shepherd who is always with us, who knows us by name, and who cares for us deeply. It is a source of strength and encouragement in times of trouble, and a reminder of the goodness and faithfulness of God. It reminds us that we are not alone. In the midst of our struggles and challenges, we have a shepherd who is with us, who walks beside us, and who carries us when we are too weak to walk on our own. We are part of a flock, a community of believers who support and encourage one another. We are guided and guarded by a loving shepherd. His care for us is not distant or impersonal, but intimate and personal. He knows our needs, our fears, and our hopes. He is with us in every moment, guiding us, protecting us, and providing for us. This shepherd cares for us even more deeply than an earthly shepherd cares for his sheep. His love for us is boundless and unconditional. He is willing to lay down his life for us, to go to any lengths to ensure our safety and well-being. His care for us is a reflection of his character, his goodness, and his faithfulness. Come, let us delve into the comforting embrace of Psalm 23. Let us immerse ourselves in its words and allow them to speak to our hearts. Let us find rest and peace in the presence of our shepherd, and let us trust in his care and provision. Let's explore the deep love and unwavering care of the shepherd for his sheep. Let us reflect on the ways in which he has guided us, protected us, and provided for us. Let us give thanks for his faithfulness and his love, and let us commit ourselves to following him wherever he leads. Let us find solace and guidance in his presence. In the midst of our busy and often chaotic lives, let us take time to be still and know that he is God. Let us listen for his voice and let us follow his lead. Let us trust in his wisdom and his care, and let us find peace in his presence. Let us be reminded of the profound truth, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." This simple yet powerful statement encapsulates the essence of the psalm. It is a declaration of trust and dependence on God, a recognition of his care and provision. It is a source of comfort and assurance, a reminder that we are never alone, and that we are always under the watchful care of our loving shepherd. The relationship between a shepherd and his sheep is unique. It's a bond built on trust, dependence, and unwavering care. The shepherd knows each sheep individually. He recognizes their voices. He understands their needs. The sheep, in turn, trust their shepherd completely. They rely on him for guidance and protection. The shepherd leads his sheep to green pastures. He finds them still waters. He protects them from predators. He nurses them back to health when they are sick or injured. The shepherd's life revolves around the well-being of his sheep. He is their constant guardian and provider. This intimate relationship is beautifully depicted in Psalm 23. The psalmist, through the eyes of a shepherd, reveals God's tender care for his people. He guides us just as a shepherd guides his sheep. He provides for our needs, ensuring we lack nothing. He protects us from dangers, both seen and unseen. The shepherd's love for his sheep is unconditional. It's not based on their performance or worthiness. It stems from a deep sense of responsibility and compassion. This mirrors God's love for us. It is a love that never fails, a love that pursues us relentlessly, a love that mends our brokenness and guides us toward wholeness. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. These opening words of Psalm 23 are among the most comforting in all of Scripture. They are a profound declaration of trust and an assurance of complete provision. When we acknowledge God as our shepherd, we are saying that we recognize his authority in our lives. We are placing our well-being in his capable hands. I shall not want. These words speak of complete and utter dependence on God. He is our provider, our protector, our guide. He knows our needs even before we ask. He promises to supply all that we need according to his riches in glory. This promise of provision is not limited to material needs. It encompasses every aspect of our lives, physical, emotional, and spiritual. When we feel lost, he guides us. When we are afraid, he comforts us. When we are weak, he strengthens us. The shepherd's provision may not always come in the way we expect, but we can be assured that he is always working on our behalf. He is orchestrating circumstances for our good. He is using every situation to draw us closer to himself. Our responsibility is to trust him completely. We must surrender our will to his and rest in the assurance that he will never leave us nor forsake us. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? Luke 15:4. This parable shared by Jesus paints a powerful picture of God's relentless love for each of us. The shepherd's willingness to leave the 99 to find the one speaks volumes about the depth of his care. He doesn't dismiss the lost sheep as insignificant. He doesn't consider the effort too great. He values each sheep individually and will go to extraordinary lengths to bring it back to safety. This parable is a beautiful illustration of God's heart for the lost and the wandering. He doesn't give up on us when we stray. He patiently seeks us out. He pursues us with an everlasting love. He rejoices when we turn back to him. We are all like sheep. We have all gone astray at some point in our lives. We have all wandered from the shepherd's care. But God, in his infinite mercy, never stops searching for us. He longs to gather us back into his loving embrace. The parable of the lost sheep reminds us that we are precious in God's sight. We are deeply loved and cherished. No matter how far we have strayed, he is always waiting to welcome us home. His love is unconditional, relentless, and eternally pursuing. If you feel lost or have strayed, know that you are never too far from God's love. Reach out to him today and experience his boundless grace.